I mean, people that say I don't got any creativity right now, I'm saying you got to read a book. You have to go outside, take a walk. You got to eat better, right? Get that creative stuff flowing. There should be no excuses right now why you can't be creating content, why you can't go viral on TikTok, why you can't start a podcast back up and running, right? You're quarantined in your home. When in the world are we got such a good opportunity to create content? Oh, shit.
Oh, shoot. Drew got the coronavirus.
Bro, I choked on my own throw up. No, damn. And then you choke on your own throat. That just happened. I was like trying to talk, and I was like, bad.
Oh, shoot.
Great way to start the interview.
Alrighty, let's do this. Yo, what is up, creatives? Welcome back to another episode of Documenting the Life of a Filmmaker. I'm here with a special guest, my man, Drew Padilla. What's going on, homie?
Dude, feeling good, feeling right. Feeling grateful to be on another show with Nick.
Yeah. on the third episode, even though we just had him like one episode ago back in August, but you know, screw it. We love him so much that we're gonna bring him on again.
That's right. I'm grateful.
So you know, just a little bit about
the last show. Did people say people like it?
Oh, there was a lot of people who commented. Like a lot of my friends, they said some things to me, and they were super impressed. I mean, there was definitely some things that, you know, they recommended, and even from like the last episode I just did, there was a few recommendations, but overall people enjoyed it. So that's all we're about, you know, providing value and just making sure people are getting the best use out of the content we're providing.
Right, exactly. So I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad. Whatever, I don't know what I said, but
Alrighty, so you know a little bit about Drew. He is a multi-talented videographer specializing in social media, micro content, corporate branding, product presentation, and events. In his 3 years of being a videographer, he has been fortunate enough to work with people such as Gary Vaynerchuk, Michael Morelli, and I know I'm gonna mess up his last name, Nick Santasso.
Santasso, yeah.
Yeah, that's, I just call him Santa. But yeah, all these are incredible entrepreneurs, and he says his main goal is to connect a society together through the power of video. So again, Drew, I just want to welcome you to the show. It's glad to have you again.
Yeah, man. Thank you for having me. Let me get my camera set up. I'm actually going live on Instagram right now, so.
Oh shoot! Okay.
You know, might as well give people some extra spice.
Some extra spice. I like it, dude. You know, I think that's more valuable, honestly. You know.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see who pops on. We already got a couple viewers, so let's get it rolling, man. Let's get into it.
Alrighty, bet. Okay. Okay, so I guess where I just want to kind of, you know, start off with is what are you exactly doing now? I know the last time we talked back in August, I think I remember you were finishing up a contract with Pepsi. Was that right?
Yes, that's right.
So tell me what type of, you know, work you're doing now with marketing and video.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's a great question. So much has changed in the past 5 or 6 months, I would say, in my content. As far as it goes with creation and the business, I'm still pushing, you know, videography on the daily, hitting up people, and especially in this time, it's more important, I found, to build relationships. So I'm building, you know, twice the amount of relationships that I ever built in previous months, and I focus all of my content right now on pursuing what I want to pursue, which I think I told you before on like the last podcast, or maybe we had a one-on-one, and I was like, I'm going to get into the entertainment part of the video production. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
I started focusing more on building that personal brand of things. So I've pushed hard. I'm pushing hard right now on TikTok. I'm actually solely invested in TikTok alone because I just believe in its power. I mean, 500 million users a day. That's insane. Instagram has 1 billion users a month. I I mean, if you do the numbers on that, it's pretty astronomical. I think TikTok can definitely blow them out of the water. But I mean, as far as it goes on a daily grind, man, I'm creating content from the day I wake up, from the morning until the night. If I'm not creating, I'm editing. And if I'm not editing, I'm reaching out to past clients or prospecting for new clients. So I'm always trying to step ahead like you. But overall, man, I mean, a lot has changed, but that's just because of the crisis that we're in and, you know, the things that unprecedented times. But that doesn't mean you got to stop creating, right? It doesn't mean you got to stop doing what you're, you know, born to do, which is use your God-given talent. So, yeah, man, just keep on. I'm keeping on.
So yeah, definitely. I want to touch up on whatchamacallit, you know, with what's going on with everything lately. I know 22 million people out of work right now. And my question to you is, we'll start right here. So what advice do you have, or even how are you working with your current client base, you know, at this time, you know, dealing with payments and such?
I mean, payments are the same. I've definitely had a few clients that are lost just to pause and retainers. But I mean, the most important thing I always say, and I said this in my last talk with you, is you can't get emotionally attached. And I pinpoint that, and I still stick to that, is that if a client pauses on your retainer, or if a client says, hey, I can't no longer pay you, what's your response like? So I've always been supportive. I'm always understanding, and, you know, I'm confident that we'll get that back. The current payment structure stays the same. I mean, monthly or some bi-weekly through PayPal or whatever the preferred payment method is. So yeah, man, I mean, overall, everyone has taken a hit, and people that say, oh, my business is flourishing, I mean, I think they have too much of an ego to say the honest truth, but that doesn't mean what you're doing now can't change. So like I said before, I'm building relationships, right? I'm on LinkedIn all the same time in the day, and I'm having conversations. And also in different industries, right? People that I didn't talk to before, maybe in coaching, or I talked to a gentleman in the digital marketing industry that does on the analytical side of things the other day. So it's just expanding the network, because your network is your net worth at the end of the day. That's going to give you way more clients than you pounding everybody and being a shark in these times. I'm more being a human, and also on the side of things with my prospects, just having simple conversations. That will lead to, I believe, 10 more type of clients and 10 more types of videos than just being someone who's a robot.
100% agree with you. Now, this is more of a personal question for me, because I know it's something kind of, you know, I'm starting to learn the game right now. I'm currently taking Cardone University, and you know, I just finished up a prospecting course. What I mean, share as little as you want. What is your like desired prospecting method? Like, what is your approach to everything?
As far as it goes with like attaining business,
or even like just communicating with people. Just like, how do you just go out there and be like, hey, do you have a problem I could solve? Or, you know, hey, I'm a videographer. Or like, how would you message people directly?
I mean, direct messaging, like as far as it goes on Instagram or anything social media, I just simply open up and say, hey, I really liked what you did. I would love to collaborate on some future projects. What's your availability for your next call? And most people see that as a genuine comment, but I mean, my messaging always changes. I don't really have a set template, but I always strive to be personable and point out something I really liked about what they're pursuing or what they're doing. That's going to get a better response 9 times out of 10 than saying, hey, this is what I do. I'm willing to give you a good deal on my next video. Let's collab, or let's make a deal happen. So I'm more particular on my messaging, just for the fact of I see it differently than a lot of people, and I look at it for the long term rather than just the short term buy-in. I'm here to build relationships at the end of the day, and I can't have a brand that says Connector Productions or Connector if I'm not doing that. right? So I gotta practice what I preach at the end of the day. But my messaging can go anywhere from pick up the phone and calling, right? I have a contact list. I keep that Excel sheet up to date. I've had that for the past 8 months up to date, and I'm calling on people, and I'm also messaging on LinkedIn, etc. Yeah, man. I mean, it changes day to day, but you got to keep pushing. You got to keep pursuing these relationships.
Yeah, for sure, and I definitely agree with that, and that's something that I've come to learn. After watching these videos with like Grant Cardone and stuff, I've really been pushing to really strengthen a lot of my current relationships, as well as starting to build new relationships. And it doesn't even have to be necessarily people I want as clients, because at the end of the day, like I'm talking to a few entrepreneurs right now who I definitely know they don't need my services, but like at the end of the day, I know that they may have somebody who could benefit from my services. And so that's kind of what my mentality is right now.
Right. I mean, if they really like you, I mean, they're going to refer you to a person that needs their services. I always say, if I'm friends with somebody and they have somebody else, maybe that's their friend or their family member or a business partner that says, hey, I need someone to do video, who's the first person that comes to mind? Well, my friend Andrew or my friend Nick has their own video company, and they can help you with your services. So top of mind, top of the relationship is where you're going to be if you choose that path. So it pays back.
Mm-hmm. I kind of want to go back to, you mentioned getting on TikTok more. So I haven't really been, paying attention to that. So how's that been like lately? Like, what's your following count? What's like your average views? And like, you could probably answer this better. What is your creative process when it comes to, your TikTok and stuff? Because, the stuff I've seen on like Instagram, like, no, I've never seen them before. And they were just like, absolutely like, they were really unique. And like, I can really appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. I mean, listen, I love data, and I love it for the fact that it provides me with where I'm going, what I'm doing wrong, how many people, are engaged. So when you say, what am I doing on TikTok with my numbers, like nothing special. I mean, nothing special, but I find there's beauty in that because I got free range, man. There's no one watching me. Like there's nobody here. So I can do whatever the hell I want. And that's my mentality with creation. I mean, and it's always been that. You cannot trap me in a box. I just won't be in there. I mean, you saw on my story yesterday, I just made a little short film, something I never did before. Why? Because the whole point of my message is staying imagined. Like you have to create that imagination. And on TikTok, I just see like a 30,000 person ring filled, and I get to decide who views my stuff, and it's been showing me a lot of love. I mean, honestly, my last video I posted got the most amount of likes ever that I posted on TikTok. I got a couple of fangirls that are 13 years old, so I guess I could be getting pretty big right now. No, but man, I love just the creativity of just being imaginary and tapping into that and not letting society deter you from that. Like we were saying previously, with the job search and everything, I totally get it. And I'm one that is in the job realm of corporate America. I'm never going to bash that, right? I'm never going to be like, oh, screw jobs, 9 to 5s, because they're going to be your clients, right? If you're pursuing your business, those people are going to be your paying clients. Why would I bash my paying clients? So to answer your point about TikTok, dude, it's something I really don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going in, and I'm going in headstrong, I'm not going to stop.
Dude, and that's honestly, like, lately from what I've been seeing, what you've been posting on Instagram, I've been taking a lot of inspiration from, like, as I was talking to you before we hopped on this interview, is, with that video you posted last night. I mean, I think I saw it at like 12:30 in the morning. Like, I think I was about to go to bed, And I saw that, and he was like, you know what? Screw this. I'm gonna go freaking edit instead of go to bed. And so I just got some stock footage, got some music, put some sound design in it, freaking work with it. And then last time I checked, it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. I was like, oh shoot.
Wow, man, that's awesome, dude. I want to see that video. You got it.
I know. I'll be posting it on Instagram probably in a week, but I'll give you a early access pass.
Good stuff, man. Yeah, I mean, wherever you feel your creativity, you got to tap into that. And I always say passion. When you feel passion, people like to write down ideas. People like to think about it in the shower. And I got no disrespect to those type of people, right? But if you're passionate in the moment, you have to act right away because passion dies. I'll never forget I had an opportunity with a gentleman, and I was like, hey, I want to do an interview with you. Can you give me your availability? And he's like, hey, I'm available right now. And I was like in my boxers in my bed. It was like 10 a.m. And I was like, dude, I just got on, Instagram. Let me scroll my feed, man. I want to see what these people are doing first. And no, I mean, I was like, all right, cool. Got my mic set up, put on a shirt, put on a hat, and we got the interview rolling. So, it's just acting in the moment is just really what I'm trying to say. And that goes with anything creativity wise, right? So if you have an idea, you're second guessing it, it's probably because you don't know yourself. And it's probably because you haven't put in the time into that affirmation of who you are. A lot of people on TikTok, it's 13 to 18 years old, predominantly those users. It's natural to have that second thought, or it's natural to have those insecurities because we all have insecurities. But my point is, if you really take the time to understand who you are and what you're trying to achieve, I had a talk with a classroom yesterday, and I was saying about the 3 values, right? What are your values that you possess? And that comes around with content specifically. So people need to ask themselves, what do I value as a human being? And if you're talking about content creation, you need to make content around those 3 values. So my values are altruism, which is an act of selflessness, authenticity, which I'll always give you the honest truth about who I am, what I'm doing, what position that I'm in. I'm never gonna lie to you. And number 3, I totally forget. But so,
come on, man.
I believe. I don't know why I'm blanking on number 3. Oh, it was positivity influence. So positive influence on people, what they're doing. So yeah, man, you gotta have those values.